What would you do if in the middle of your busiest workday, a pair of pleading eyes stopped you at a traffic light just to receive a caress? Today, you will see how a small stray dog named Nagao managed to stop the clock of a motorcycle delivery driver on the chaotic streets of São Paulo to ask for a little affection. Danilo Ricci, a driver who was waiting for the light to change near Parque Villalobos, was completely struck by the scene and did not hesitate to take out his phone to record everything immediately. In the video, you can see how the Rappi delivery driver, despite having the pressure of an urgent delivery on his shoulders, decides to give the animal a few minutes of absolute tenderness, scratching his head, while traffic continued its indifferent course. This gesture, which for many might seem insignificant, was the trigger for a chain of favors that would change the life of an entire family living in absolute invisibility. The connection was so genuine that the video quickly went viral on social media, awakening the admiration of thousands for the delivery driver's compassion. It is incredible how a being that suffers daily abandonment still keeps enough faith to approach a stranger looking for comfort. This story teaches us that true wealth is not in what we possess, but in the ability to stop before the pain of others and offer a second of peace. What Danilo discovered the next day will leave you speechless, because this dog was not as alone as everyone initially thought. After witnessing that emotional encounter at the traffic light, Danilo Ricci could not get the image of the dog out of his head all night and felt an internal calling that drove him to return to the exact spot the following day. He hoped to find sweet Nagao again to offer him some more stable form of help. To his surprise, the little dog was still there, wagging his tail and showing a blind trust in humans despite his harsh reality on the asphalt. However, while interacting with the animal, Danilo discovered that Nagao was not an abandoned dog in the traditional sense, but had a human mother named Andresa. She lives on the street, and the traffic light is her daily workplace, where she seeks sustenance for herself and her four other furry companions, Nega, Pandora, Bingo, and Beethoven. The story became much more raw when Danilo noticed that Beethoven was suffering from a severe ear infection and needed urgent medical attention that Andresa could not afford in any way. The bond between the woman and her dogs is unbreakable. They are her only family and her emotional support in the midst of the most extreme adversity. Andresa humbly recounted how Nagao has always been the most social of the group, acting almost like an ambassador of love toward the strangers who stop in traffic. This revelation deeply impacted Danilo, who understood that the delivery driver's gesture was only the tip of the iceberg of a much greater need that had to be addressed by the entire community to save these beings. Determined not to stand by with his arms crossed, Danilo Ricci used his Instagram account to tell the real story behind Nagao's viral video and his encounter with the delivery driver. He made an urgent call to solidarity to help Andresa and her 5 dogs, especially to cover Beethoven's ear treatment and immediately improve the living conditions of everyone. The response from social media was a massive explosion of kindness, proving that when love is communicated with honesty, the world responds with force. Thanks to the fame Nagao gained as the dog who asked for caresses from motorcycles, help began to flow in unexpected ways, bringing a ray of hope to a woman who thought society had completely forgotten her. This narrative teaches us that compassion is an engine capable of transforming invisible realities, and that we do not need to be millionaires to save a life or an entire family. It is simply enough to have the sensibility to stop, look into the eyes of those who suffer, and offer a little basic dignity. The delivery driver, the witness, and the dog unknowingly joined together to create a miracle on the asphalt of São Paulo that continues to inspire millions of people today. The case of Nagao is the definitive proof that the loyalty of an animal can be the bridge toward the salvation of his beloved human beings. Never underestimate the power of a caress at a traffic light, because it can be the beginning of a new life for those who have nothing more than their mutual love and their unbreakable faith that tomorrow will be a better day.